9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
It is Wednesday, and it's Timeless Elite Wednesday. I do apologize for the tardiness because I did have to take care of an obligation, and it went longer than expected, but it was well worth it. But I'm happy to be with all of you on Wednesday for Dynamite, and I just caught up an amazing match between Brodino and the Death Riders, and Brodino got the victory. So apparently, So I'm getting caught up. It looks like Kyle Fletcher and Okada beat up Tomohiro Ishii because they're trying to take out every single person. I'm trying to take out every person from the conglomeration, so I would not be shocked if they took out Kyle, O'Reilly, or Roddy. I hope they don't take out Orange, because Orange has been through this before, but people don't realize Mark Briscoe has a lot of friends. And he also knows a lot of people despise MJF. So I'm pretty sure he won't have any problem getting some people. If it's not the conglomeration, I'm sure he can find some people that can't stand it, MJF. Mark Briscoe is going to be fine. So I'm catching up to speed because I did see Kenny Omega was in action when it kicked off the show. And also, so it looks like the MJF and Dog Callis family, and it looks like they're going to take out every single person of the conglomeration, which I'm not surprised. Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland are going to be face-to-face right before their big match. And we're also going to have the Owen Hart Cup Women's Tournament. Hazuki will be competing for the first time on AEW Dynamite television against Mercedes Mone. And up next, we're going to hear from the Dogs, Clark Connors and David Findlay, pretty much after they ramshacked Edge and Christian a couple weeks ago, because I was in Philly. They ramshacked them, and it looks like they're coming for the AEW tag team titles. Okay, so thanks again, Boza. The main event is going to be the 12th. I thought it was going to be either the 12th man or Ospreay versus Swerve they would end with, which I think it would be pretty cool if they end with Ospreay and Swerve. You can pick it. Okay, tardiness. But I'm happy to see the chat was going even when I wasn't around. You guys kept it so active, and I'm so happy. Shout out to Eddie Foster, shout out to Boza, shout out to Jeffrey, shout out to Jeff Metterling. You guys are awesome. It's just been a crazy day because it's always nice to see family, of course, and there are some family members I have not seen in years. So it's very nice. And also I had to help out prep the food. So it was a little bit tiring, but it was well worth it. And I was very happy. Didn't feel out of place, but I'm very happy for that. And things do happen, but I'm happy to spend it with all of you on a Wednesday. Oh, nice. I'm so happy. It makes me very, very happy to see. But I am here. Your Timeless Elite is here. And we do have a lot of stuff. So shout out to Jeffrey and Boza for keeping active in the chat. You guys are awesome. And I hope you guys did get to talk from WWT Live, because I know this is AEW. There was a lot of craziness in TNA. 24 hours. It feels like it hasn't been 24 hours, but it has. But I feel like this whole year, TNA has just been craziness. We know Tommy Dreamer parted ways. Tessa Blanchard requested a release. Steve Macklin, Maya Grace, Stefan Lander, Maine Swarner. I mean, it's just craziness. And even with that, Tasha Steelz re-signed with TNA, but then you get all this stuff happening. So it's like, and the latest post that's happening with Structure, there's just so much craziness, because I wanted to do a case study regarding WrestleMania and regarding, conflict of interest with TKO, but I think this one in particular with TNA needs to be in a deeper dive. And I don't know if I could do an article on that, because there's just so many layers to what happened with TNA. It's just like, what are we doing? And I do not want TNA to die. TNA has a special place in my heart. I hope so too, Jeffrey. I hope not just Tasha. I hope everybody from that roster. Tasha, Indy, Santino. I mean, everybody on that roster gets taken care of, but it's just really hard to see. And I'm sure WWT Live were talking about it earlier today, but it's just so much has happened with TNA. It's just, woo, there's just a lot. But I think I may have to do a case study on this at some point. We're going to have to do a case study on TNA. And we have the Psycho Killer, Tommaso Ciampa. Of course, he is targeting Chris Jericho. Him and Chris Jericho went at it last week, and it looks like they may have a match at Forbidden Door. Yep, I have a feeling Chris Jericho and Tommaso Ciampa may meet at Forbidden Door. And I'll never forget that promo where he did 1,001 or 1,004 reasons where I hate Chris Jericho. And obviously the first on his list was he said, Fozzy sucks. So he wants Chris Jericho to come out. Does he want the Painmaker version of Chris Jericho? Because you don't want to go there with the Painmaker version of Jericho when he wrestled in Tokyo. That's a version of Jericho you don't want to see. I love when Tommaso pushes his chair back. Yeah, it's kind of really funny. Oh, well, we shall see, because I don't want to mess with the Painmaker version of Chris Jericho. But here come the dogs, because they're supposed to, we're going to hear from them after they attacked Edge and Christian, and they do a montage of attacking people from the back. Ooh, that's a fire. And oh, look, there's Edge! And Christian can't be close by. Christian's not close. And there's Christian. See? That's what happens when you mess with the tag team champions. And I have a feeling they may meet at Forbidden Door for the tag team titles. It's going to be interesting how it looks like at Wembley Stadium, because I would love to see them versus the dogs. You could throw in the Rascals in there. And I guess for the third year at Wembley, I guess you have to include the Young Bucks and FTR for the belts. I mean, and that's what's really going to happen, because the first two times they were at Wembley, they were included. So I'm pretty sure somewhere. But it would be nice to see different tag teams vie for the gold. Oh, well, it looks like Clark Carter saved David Finlay. But it would be an interesting match. And I could see it probably running like scalded dogs. That's what it is. That's a JR reference. Running like scalded dogs. Oh, and they have microphones in their hands. Let's see what Edge and Christian have to say. Christian. Oh my God. Going after their mothers. Oh my God. Typical Christian. Typical. I'm not going to repeat what Christian said, Jeffrey. I'm not going to repeat it. I love how they mention all the tag teams they faced throughout the years. Yep. Yep. Old man knowledge. Well, it looks like they put the gauntlet out. Edge and Christian, they're gonna face the Dogs, which that was a possibility happening at Forbidden Door, and I love that they're going after like tag teams already. I would love to see them face off against them. I would love to see them face off against the Rascals. And speaking of that, we have the Owen Hart Cup Women's Tournament. As I mentioned, Hazuki will be on AEW Dynamite for the first time, taking on Mercedes Mone. And this Saturday on Collision, it's mentor versus mentee. Athena will be taking on Maya World this Saturday on Collision. So, and also, I would not underestimate Hazuki, because Hazuki and Mercedes Mone met before, and it was a really good match from what I heard. And also, we found out the AEW Women's World Title for the first time in AEW pay-per-view and television. Starlight Kid from Stardom is going to be facing off against Tekla for the AEW Women's Title. Guess what? Mercedes, she may win. And I said that. Could she advance in the Owen Hart Cup Women's Title? Yes. Do I think she's going to win it? I say no. Only because I feel like when I saw Mercedes promo last week, because she said something was different, I need her to go 360. I need her to go 360 on a crash out, because I feel like we haven't seen her have a full 100% crash out yet. And thinking of those doubts coming in your head. Similar to what they did with the Young Bucks. But here comes Tekla, the AEW Women's Champion. I'm not going to lie. Tekla has been entertaining. And it's crazy. I met her last summer. So, and I know I kind of wish they continue the storyline with Tekla and Stardom leading up to All in Wembley Stadium, because it seems interesting and it's refreshing. And that's kind of the scene of Forbidden Door. I just wanted to continue feuding with people from Stardom. That's all I gotta say. Oh my God, Moses, don't do that. Oh, and by the way, I will say this, because even though it is Timeless Elite Wednesday, I do have to give a shout out to our Mayor Said, because it is almost his birthday. Because even though he's a Gemini, I do have to wish him a happy birthday. So feel free to put in the chat, put in candles, balloons, everything else. Go wish your favorite mayor a happy birthday. And also one of the only few people that will advocate for Mercedes till the day he dies. So I will do that. So, gotta give a happy birthday. And yeah, and it's hard to believe. I came in after 8:30 and it just felt like it went so quick. But Tekla will be facing off for against Starlight Kid for the first time, who'll be making it a presence into AEW. And I'm happy to see, because that's the concept of Forbidden Door. You need some people in there. And I kind of want them to continue this storyline with Tekla and Stardom, because it does seem very fascinating. Obviously, of course, whoever wins faces off against the AEW Women's Champion at All in Wembley Stadium. So you really have to think about that. We are, yes. And I know you guys are, and you guys are very respectful. You guys are very respectful of Mercedes, because I do have respect for her as a wrestler. Sometimes I have to put people in place, especially when it comes to AEW, because some of them were women's champions before she got there. I just have to be very clear on that, because I want all the women in AEW to succeed. I don't want them to be throwing over the bus for some nonsense and crap or anything else. So I have to be appreciative of that. But yeah, feel free to wish the mayor said a happy birthday. And I do believe so. But it's going to be very interesting, because I want to see Mercedes have like a full 360 crash out and just have that come to her head. Because if she wins, and if Tekla somehow makes it to All in Wembley Stadium, this is going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see, because Tekla is going to get in Mercedes' head, and you have the Triangle of Madness. And could you imagine Julia Hart blacklisting Mercedes in the face? And this is where you're probably going to have to tap into the rest of the women's division, because almost every woman you burned the bridge with, almost, because Tony's not around, Willow's hurt, Harley and Mina are kind of loathing together after circumstances, and then you have to figure out, who do you think is going to help you with the Triangle of Madness? And you may have to go against somebody that you would have never suspected. And only person, and I said this on WWT Live, the only person I could really think of is Jamie Hayter, because Jamie Hayter is the first person to give Tekla her first loss. So, or in the Brawling Birds, we shall see. And we have Miss Lexi with Brodino. And I'm so excited for Brodino. Bandito's excited. He's like, okay, Brody King, like, okay. And that's huge, getting a pin over the Death Riders. Uh-oh. Here comes Daniel Garcia and Mox. Ooh, I can see this. I can see him going for the Continental Championship. I can see this. It's a possibility. Could Bandito hold 2 belts? Because he's still the reigning Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion. He's still the reigning, but could he hold 2 belts? We shall see. I think Moxley has learned Spanish, but we're getting ready for the AEW. Oh my God, AEW. Owen Hart Cup Women's Tournament. We have Mercedes Mone coming out to her entrance. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if she faces off against Tekla, this is where Mercedes kind of has to really, really, really think deep. She's going to have to really, really think, oh my goodness. And I see a mini Monet. So she's facing off against Hazuki. This is the second time these ladies fought. And the first time they met, it was one of the best women's matches ever. So if you have not watched a match, make sure. And it's funny how fans say, like, Mercedes is the first person to defend the Owen Hart Cup title. No. Willow was the first person to do that, because even though when Willow won it, she was injured, she still defended it the following year. She defended her Owen Hart Cup title. I just want to be very clear of that, because people think she's the first. I was like, no. Don't forget about it when Willow won it. Shout out to Hassan Pluto TV Gamer. We're just waiting on Miss Hazuki. And it's awesome. And I love that she is getting a lot of TV time, because if you have not seen it for the first time, it is really, really good. I know. What was it? It's crazy. But here's Hazuki from Stardom. And I'm happy she is making her mark. She faced off against Persephone in a really great match on Collision. And she's been making her name for herself. So It's funny with Mercedes, she's meeting all these people that she used to face. Then it was Hazuki, and then who knows? Depending on Athena versus Maya Worlds, because that's going to be a really good match too. But, and it's funny, last week at Mercedes, well, no, not last week, 2 weeks ago when she came in, she tried to say, oh, I'm in therapy and everything else. But miss, you're due to have a crash out sooner than you think. And this is where she's going to go a deeper dive, because if she does advance and she has to face off against Tekla, this is where she's going to have to lean into the rest of the ladies for help. And she burned the bridge with almost every single one of them. Tekla got a bit. Well, I mean, hey. But I'm happy I made it just in time for the ladies, because this is women's wrestling talk. And we support the ladies. But here we go. We have Mercedes Mone taking on Hazuki in her first appearance on AEW Dynamite. Feel free to put in the chat on who you guys got, because this could go 50-50. And I would not be shocked if AEW pulled a Swerve, which they very rarely ever do. But I would not underestimate Hazuki one bit, because she's like a little bit of a spitfire. And I will say, because I want to give shout out to MLW, I had the chance to attend their nights for 2 nights in Philadelphia, completely sold out. And I was very happy that I got to see up front some of the work that they were doing. Killer Cross, the reigning MLW World Heavyweight Champion. Shotzi, the reigning Women's World Champion. Also, with the fact we got to see some faces from Stardom, because of the partnership between MLW and Stardom that is kicking off. And I'm very happy to see some ladies from Stardom are really starting to invade in the US, which really makes me happy to see. And it's hard to believe 1 week from Sunday is Forbidden Door. But before I say anything, there will be a watch along for AEW Forbidden Door. I'm very excited for it. But it just makes me happy to see that at least Stardom. And Hazuki! I will say Hazuki came to play. I would not underestimate her one bit. And Mercedes should know better, because she faced off against her before. Girl, if I were you, I would focus on the match. Don't be focusing on the belt. And as I mentioned, Saturday on Collision, Athena will be taking on Maya World in the Owen Hart Cup Women's Tournament. So whoever wins faces off against the winner over this match. But feel free to put in the chat on who you guys got advancing. Because for me, this could go 50-50. Because I love that some of the fans are chanting Hazuki's name. It really makes me excited. So Jeff Metterling, he's going with the CEO of Mercedes Mone. That's only fair. It's hard to say, because this could go 50-50. I would not be mad either way on who won. And yes, with Ring of Honor. Also, make sure to check out Ring of Honor, because I know the last 2 weeks they aired some of their shows on YouTube for free. I'm starting to notice that the last 2 weeks they aired their show on free on YouTube. So take advantage of that as you can, because there's a lot of good stuff on Ring of Honor. I mean, I know everybody wants them to have a TV deal, but there's some good stuff on there. And I also got to give shout out to Shane Taylor Promotions. Definitely after that brutal street fight between them and the Death Riders, I'm happy to see Shane Taylor Promotions is starting to transfer over from Ring of Honor to Dynamite and Collision, which you have seen. Obviously, they feuded with the conglomeration. They're trying to kick up the deal with the Death Riders. And also with the fact, too, you have to understand, Nigel McGuinness, he also has a shot for the Pure Ring of Honor Pure Championship, which is being held by Lee Moriarty. So there are many factors coming in. And I did see on Saturday, it looked like somebody threw Daniel Garcia right into Nigel. And he's okay, but I would not be surprised if Nigel got some retribution there, because we have seen Nigel get in some stuff, because he's still a wrestler. He's a really good wrestler. But I have picture-in-picture, but it looks like Mercedes has the upper hand here against Hazuki. Yeah, so I know, obviously payroll, but the last 2 weeks, Ring of Honor has some episode for free you can watch on YouTube, and I highly recommend taking advantage of that. I do plan to watch it. I know I try to keep up with Ring of Honor. I prefer him on Jeffrey. Come on, Nigel. He's a really good wrestler. I mean, he can come out of the ring every now and then, not like every week. He does put on some good matches. He faced off against his nemesis Bryan Danielson for God knows how long. He faced off against Zack Sabre Jr. last year at Forbidden Door. He made an appearance at the Casino Gauntlet match at Wembley Stadium, and he's like in the best shape. Oh, Jeffrey. Why do you gotta disrespect Nigel? But it looks like Mercedes Moné has the upper hand over Hazuki since I'm watching it on picture in picture. But we are back live with AEW Dynamite. We have the Owen Hart Cup Women's Tournament semifinal match. Mercedes Moné is taking on Stardom's Hazuki. And this is Hazuki's first time making an appearance on AEW Dynamite. Quick kick out by Hazuki. Just Jeffrey. And it's crazy. We are on the road to Forbidden Door and it's starting to heat up. I mean, it's kind of crazy because when you look back at August, it'll be Wembley Stadium season before you know it, because we have Forbidden Door. We have the next pay-per-view in July in Montreal, and then Forbidden Door. It's going to be very interesting how this is going to go and what matches will be in display for Wembley Stadium. And it's going to be very interesting, not just with the AEW World title, the AEW Women's title, the Tag Team titles, the TNT title, the TBS title. Some goal, but also I want to see some blood feuds transition into matches at Wembley Stadium, because there's going to be some interesting blood feuds that I want to see. I mean, I still want to see Speedball and Kevin Knight have a serious blood feud. I've been asking for God knows how long. I wanted Jamie Hayter and Tekla to have a blood feud, but I don't know with that. We're probably going to see Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher have a blood feud, which I do love seeing. And also it's going to be very interesting because Swerve and Ospreay, and then you throw in the Death Riders. It's going to be very interesting. I think Mercedes would. Yeah, I mean, I would. Yeah, she's in control, Jeffrey. She's been having control most of the matches against Hazuki, but I would not be shocked if Hazuki came back like a crazy person. Quick kick out by Hazuki. I'm not gonna lie, her makeup and her wig is spot on. You gotta admit, Jeffrey, Mercedes has been having good wigs since she's been on AEW. She's had some good wigs, and also with the situation happened with Jade last week. It was like, come on, there's been so many mishaps with wardrobe malfunctions, everything else, and me being in the pageant world, I've seen so many wardrobe malfunctions, on stage question mishaps, where sometimes it does drag on for a while, and sometimes it does live in infamy, but people move on and they passed it. But I will say she has been spot on with wigs. And with the fact, too, since she's been in AEW, she hasn't had a serious injury, which is a plus. And I am so happy for that. And yes, Friday, July 10th, Brawl at the Ballpark. If you are in Minneapolis, make sure to check out AEW because they're in a ballpark. Oh, that's a nice move by Hazuki. I would not underestimate her. And I'm happy like she has a little fan base where they chant her name because at least they know who she is. And I love it. And look at the fans. They're really on their feet. Not just for Mercedes, but they're on their feet for Hazuki. And I love it. Yes, Jeff Bennerling, I told you, Hazuki is really impressing people. Oh, yes, blue. Blue and pink seems to be her signature colors. And red. Red seems to be a signature color of Mercedes. I will say she does look good in red. Quick kick out. And ooh, Hazuki has Mercedes in the submission hold. And I'm just checking to see what's going on socials because I feel like socials have been all over the place all day today. It's just with the stuff happening with TNA and everything else. It's just woo. It's like clockwork. Oh yeah, that's true. She did look good in Burgundy. I'm not sure if there's a time limit for the Owen Hart Cup. I don't think so. You have to win it through pinfall or submission. Yeah, because I don't think there has ever been a pinfall. But I feel like with these ladies, it's been you. And by the way, too, it's like early. It's right before the signature 9:30. Well, and also you have to see with the rest of the ladies because some of them have taken on brutal matches the last couple weeks. I know Hikaru Shida and Chris Statlander had a brutal match in Philly a couple weeks ago. And also it depends on schedule too, because like I know some of them it depends, and they have to find out. Oh, we're being flying in for Dynamite, we're flying in for Collision, or something like that. But that's the one thing. I just need to see more ladies. Ooh, her knee. Ooh, I hope Mercedes didn't twist her knee. Oh man. I hope. Why would you do that with your knees? I know, Jeffrey. I hope she doesn't shatter her knee the same way MJF did last week when he hyperextended his knee. Well, actually, no, not last week. 2 weeks ago against Roosh. Oh my god, that was just a hyperextension. But we are in picture in picture. I'm able to watch it on picture in picture. It's gonna be very interesting for Forbidden Door because so far we have some really. It's turning out to be a really good solid card. Obviously, we know for the finals it's the men, well, Ospreay and Swerve Strickland. We're gonna find out who from the lady side will be competing at Forbidden Door. We also have Zack Sabre Jr. taking on Kenny Omega in what is going to be a banger of a match. I don't know if it has been official yet, but we now know it's going to be Edge and Christian taking on the Dogs for the AEW tag team titles. We also have MJF and Mark Briscoe in a steel cage match, 12-man tag team match. We just have to figure out who Mark Briscoe is going to pick because I feel like if the Doghouse family is going to attack every single member of the conglomeration, I feel like Mark has something up his sleeve or something. Jeff. Oh, Lordy. I think you rubbed up someone said of CEO Wednesdays. First off, it is Timeless Elite Wednesdays. Let's be very clear on that. This is Timeless Elite Wednesdays. Oh, yeah, Boza. And the fan posted that video. News of getting it. Yeah, that's crazy. I've heard a lot of crazy stuff. Well, you know what? That was very interesting, and I'm very surprised Mr. Bossman made that move and had to take it down on YouTube. But there had to be a specific reason. I don't think he just took it down just because. Maybe there was a specific reason when it came to copyright issues or something of a personal matter that didn't have to be addressed. So there's many layers to all this. So very interesting. Very, 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 very interesting. I'm just looking at my phone to see if any updates are happening, but I guess not. And we'll probably get we'll probably get MJF versus MJF. Darby versus Kevin Knight. I don't want it to be for the TNT title. I just want them to have a blood feud. I would love Speedball. It's Mercedes Wednesday. Why? Don't you? Hey, Jeff, come on, let's be fair. Even though my gal, the timeless one, Toni Storm, is not here till next year, it is Timeless Elite Wednesdays because my nickname is the Timeless Elite of women's wrestling talk, and I will always have Timeless Elite Wednesdays. I mean, sure, you could have CEO Wednesdays, but it is Timeless Elite Wednesdays with me because there's a reason why I'm called the Timeless Elite of women's wrestling talk. Because even though I don't have my number one gal, I still have other people I can support. I got my guy Orange Cassidy. I got my gals, the Brawling Birds, Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor. And I also have Castor and Anthony Bowens. So I got some peeps that I get to play around with. But we're back live with AEW Dynamite. He said, see you because oh, I know. It's like, I guess I can't win. I just can't win. But we're back live with AEW Dynamite. We have Hazuki, but currently in my view. Well, you do have a view, Jeff Metterley. I'm not going to bash you for it. You're entitled to it. So, and plus, I get enough of it from Seth anyway, because he thinks it's CEO Wednesday. So it's like, I can't win. I just have to be on my own little island. Oh, nice senton bomb by Hazuki. It'll be. Oh man, she got a submission hold on to Mercedes. I gotta want the storyline between Tekla and Starter to continue leading up to All In Wembley. It's all love. We love Tony. Well, I know you guys love Tony as well. Obviously, you guys love Tony Storm, but it's all love and jokes and everything else. It's all love and jokes, so nothing to be fat about. But that's why I'm the Timeless Elite of women's wrestling talk. And you can tell these two ladies are eye to eye. They're just punching each other. And Mercedes' face is like half red. She's saying, come on. Well, I mean, if you have not seen their match over at New Japan, you need to. Because these ladies know each other very, very well. But that's what I love it. Because here, we're all a community of love. We all support each other. And we also have different opinions, which I'm okay with. So that's the thing I love about doing these watch on for AEW. Because I know everybody doesn't watch AEW. You're going to have some bandwagon fans watching it just because of the crap that's happening with WWE. But you know what? I've been with AEW since 2022. The reason I got into it was because of Toni Storm. But I love seeing all the superstars of AEW to succeed. And interviewed a few people from AEW, which has been great. And I hope I get to continue that, building that relationship with not just everywhere wrestling, but most specifically AEW. But I got to give credit to both of these ladies. These ladies are really gassing each other. And it's almost 9:30. It's hard to say because it can't go 50-50. But I would like to see AEW make a swerve in storylines. I want us to like them to shock us. Yes, Jeff Bennerling. They are all awesome. All the ladies in AEW are awesome. That's just crazy. I know, Jeffrey. I know. I keep saying it every week. I mean, what? We have one women's match tonight, but it's funny. We had like 2 women's matches on Collision last week. And plus, since we're doing over the Hart Cup, I would like to see the survival of the finished qualified matches on a Dynamite. Nothing against Collision, but I would like quick kick out by Mercedes. Hazuki almost had it. But I would like to see a TBS survival of the finished qualified matches on a Dynamite. Nothing against Collision, but I would like for it to happen on a Dynamite. But it's hard to put everybody on TV for a TV spot. It's very hard to do, especially in 2 hours. Nice suplex by Hazuki. Oops. And Mercedes Moné got out of the ring. She had to give herself a breather. It would be funny if they pulled a Swerve and just like said, "Oh, we're just gonna do this." Have like everybody get confused and not point out the obvious. That would be really funny. This has been a really good match between these ladies. I'm happy I made it in time to watch this match. Just definitely Jeff Mettling. She's gonna be making a lot of appearances in the future, Hazuki, and I'm excited. Hold on, 1, 2, ooh! I thought Hazuki was gonna get it. It's like pin 1, 2, 3, ooh! And Mercedes put her submission hold in. Is Hazuki gonna tap? Is she going to tap? Because it looks like Mercedes is so gassed. It looked like Mercedes is so gassed. This is actually a really good match. I'm not going to lie. Between both of these ladies. I just wish they bring it every week. Backbreaker. It is. It's a really good match. And to think SmackDown had 4. Yeah, I know, Jeffrey. Crazy for 3 hours. Let's see. Is she going to go for the moneymaker? Oh, Hazuki. That, it would be crazy if Hazuki got that victory. That would be crazy. That would be crazy if she did. What? She breaks free. Hazuki was this close many, many times. She was this close. Because can you imagine if Hazuki picked up the win and the crowd would be on their feet? I feel like the crowd was on their feet. Well, Boza, either that or they're saving some stuff for Collision, which I don't know why, but it would have been nice to see a qualifying match for the TBS title on a Dynamite, but who am I to say? And also, this is the first time in weeks we got to see the AEW Women's Champion on a Dynamite, which I like. Backbreaker. And then she got to submission. Ooh. Is Hazuki going to tap? Is she going to tap? I will say, this has been a really good match for the ladies. And I know Hazuki doesn't want to tap. She does not want to tap. Ooh. It looks like she's gassing. Oh, she has to tap. She has to tap. Because that is a very hard submission. But your winner, I called it, is going to be Mercedes. Are you sure, Boza? Are you sure? Well, the winner is, after this match, we don't need another women's match. Jeffrey. But your winner is Mercedes Mone. She's advancing to the finals. She's going to face off against Maya World or Athena this weekend. Are you sure, Boza? Because it could be Athena. And also with the fact, too, Athena needs her lick back from what happened at World's End last year when they teamed up together for the women's tag team titles. And I think Athena needs her lick back. She needs that lick back. I mean, I have nothing against Maya World. I love that she's having the Cinderella type of story, but I wouldn't mind seeing Athena. But we shall see who faces Mercedes Mone this Saturday on Collision. Who is going to the finals for Forbidden Door? I really thought Hazuki was this close on beating her because I was like, oh my God, that would have been, yeah, that could be something. You're going to be conflicted, Jeffrey. And I love that they're doing a promo on Maya World. And I love that they're doing the backstory of Mentor and Mentee with Athena and Maya World happening this Saturday on Collision. Because Athena trained Maya World. Like, Maya World knows everything with Athena. Because she's been putting on some work at Ring of Honor. She did face off against her for the Ring of Honor women's title. She was a part of Survival of the Fittest at Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor, where she delivered a solid performance. But I love that they're kind of they really are transferring the feud from Ring of Honor onto AEW ground, which I love. But it's gonna be interesting. Mentor versus mentee as the underdog. As the underdog. Well, you have to go back a few years ago because Willow Nightingale, you had to go up to when she won it, and it was really, really nice to see. But unfortunately, she got injured when she won it, so she didn't compete at Wembley. But you have to see the road she took right before she won the Owen Hart Women's Cup. It's really, really fun. Mercedes. This is like it's like the Bachelor. You get a rose, you get a rose, you get a rose. I know, it's crazy that they didn't, which I'm very surprised at that because I have seen photos on socials that they posted when Willow won it. So I don't know. It's interesting. But Tony Schiavone, we're going to have a face-to-face with Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland. And by the way, congratulations to Mr. Bruv, because now he is officially a married man. Married my gal, Alex Windsor. They are officially married. And I did love the photo that he posted on his socials. They look so adorable together. Congratulations to Will. Congratulations to Alex. I guess they're going to have to put honeymoon on for a while. He is married. It's going to be very interesting because him and Swerve know each other so well. And they're friends in real life. Let me turn off my... I think definitely they'll be together for quite some time. Oh my God. Well, we don't know. We don't want that. Oh my God. Well, hey, it's not PG, but it's not the first time we heard some vulgar language of anybody's honeymoon. And here comes Swerve. And like I said, it's crazy because they're friends in real life, but it's interesting on both sides. And if you kind of go back to the first time they met at Forbidden Door when Swerve was World Heavyweight Champion, there was a lot of interesting stuff. And then the second time they met, great match. Now this is the third in their trilogy together. It's like Superman versus Batman in a way when you really think about it. Superman and Batman. not talking about Tony Schiavone's suit. Oh man, just kicking Tony Schiavone out the ring. That is just so sad. I actually do like his suit. That's not nice. Those two standing in the ring together again. Interesting. Oh boy. I knew Swerve was going to bring it up. And there's also some friction between United Empire. Helping out with his neck. But it's only a matter of time where John is going to pull the trigger, especially if he advances and wins the AEW World title. Leave Darby out of this. Even though he was beat up by Okada. Hmm. And like I said, it's funny. They're friends in real life. I mean, he was on Swerve's podcast. Damn. Man, you didn't even get Swerve to say. Exactly. Those are the ones that you have chemistry with. That's why Hangman and Swerve work so well. And you want to make sure you have chemistry with them. Because this is the second year in a row he's been in this spot. Last year it was Hangman. This year it's Swerve. I kind of like the trilogy that these guys have. Oof. Well, Jeffrey, I can explain because if you saw AEW Revolution, Hangman faced off against MJF at the Texas Death Match, and if he lost, he would never face off for the AEW World Title again. But he's also taking some time off, which is good. It's gonna be very interesting with Hangman. This is gonna be so intense. I kind of wish Swerve's reign was a little bit longer when he was AEW World Champion. He does have a win over him. Swerve does have a ring. He's really hanging. Oh boy. I had to bring that up. Yeah, he sucker punch Will. He sucker punch Strickland. Man, he really punched him. Jeez. Well, I feel like anytime they meet, it's always fireworks. Woo! I mean, you don't want to mess with Swerve with the chain. And I'm going to tell you something. Yes, the Death Riders, but sooner or later, he's got to watch his back with the Death Riders. And also with the fact, too, it's been a while since we've seen Moxley and Swerve go at it. Because I know when Mox faced off against Swerve, when he was AEW champion, because I'm going to tell you, even though the Death Riders can do it 5-on, 6-on-1, sooner or later, you're going to find another stable that's really going to go for it. Nana's running in the corner. And Swerve's a lot more smarter. He ain't stupid. Swerve is smart. I would say, well, Nana, but I don't think Swerve is scared of Marina because if I know she can take a punch, but I don't think she can. But I'm just saying this because I know you have the Death Riders, but sooner or later, it's gonna come back and bite. Because I really want to see them fight, but sooner or later, you better be careful of the Death Riders because sooner or later, John's gonna flip a switch, and especially if Will wins the AEW title, he better watch his back. And here we have Chris Jericho talking with Lexi Nair after what Ciampa said earlier tonight. Face to face. They're asking for a collision this Saturday. I guess we're going to have a face off this Saturday. Whew. Well, Jeff Merling, we have not seen who Mark, because we will find out later in the show. Obviously, of course, Kyle Fletcher and Okada took out Tomohiro Ishii. And I hope they don't take out, because they're going to take out the rest of the conglomeration one by one. But since we are on commercial break and we're almost at towards the end, and it's on commercial, let's take a look at the newest initiative that we have for Women's Wrestling Talk, and that is the Women's Wrestling Archive, where we celebrate the present and the past and the future of women's wrestling.
Women's wrestling didn't just show up yesterday in glitter boots. We've been here the entire time, body slamming through history.
The Women's Wrestling Archive launches 2026, and it's going to pave the way for all women's wrestling.
Because if we don't document it, a man might think he did it first.
This has been a passion project for a very long time. Head over to the womenswrestlingarchive.com to donate 1, 5, or whatever you can. It all goes a long way.
Let's give these women the spotlight that they've always deserved.
Her story belongs in history. Help us preserve it today. Join us at womenswrestlingarchive.com. Support the archive. Support women's wrestling. Donate today.
Support everything for the Women's Wrestling Archive, the past, the present, and the future. Any amount will support to keep it going. And thankfully, we can support that initiative. But I'm happy that you guys are supporting with me at AEW Dynamite. And also with the fact, too, I will definitely say it has been really fun doing watch-alongs for AEW because this is timeless elite Wednesdays. But yeah, of course, everybody wants to say it's CEO Wednesdays, which I'm not going to get offended by because it's been a long and exhausting day. Because after this, I'm heading to bed. And yes, support Pound Town Wrestling. Shout outs to our boss lady TK and Seth for attending the event over the weekend because it looked like a really great event. And I'm very happy they got to do it. They got to do interviews with Ariane, Taya, and many other people. Oh, and Kansas Michelle was there. So they got a few interviews. So they still have some content that they are posting for the remainder of the week. I also have some content from MLW I got to post. I'm going to post my interview with Shotzi, which was really, really great to interview her. And also from 80s Wrestling Con, I am going to post my interview with Dave LaGreca because it was a really great interview and I enjoyed talking with him. So there's a lot of things that are happening in the coming days. But it looks like the road, not Forbidden Door, but the road to Wembley Stadium is going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting if people pay attention. I'm so happy Will Ospreay finally shut Daniel Garcia up. Just shut up. It's going to be very interesting. Words. I guess he's trying to build up momentum. But like I said, Ospreay has to be very careful. Because I'm going to tell you something. If he wins, and if he wins the AEW World Heavyweight title, Jon Moxley can flip a switch just like that. So if I were Will Ospreay, I would be very, very careful. Super careful. I just hope Alex Winslow doesn't get in the way of this. I mean, I don't have a problem with her facing off against Marina Shafir or anybody, but I just don't want Alex Winslow to get in the way. I want her, the Brawling Birds, to focus on important things. But July 8th, Beach Break in Clearwater, Florida is happening, and oh yay! It's the reigning AEW World Champion. The biggest jerk in America, MJF. Oh, yay. And he called himself Big Hebrew, if you notice his jacket. The biggest jerk. And you could tell his thigh is wrapped up in tape after what happened 2 weeks ago. Yippee! It's the reigning AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Yay! Well, it looks like obviously he's teaming up with the Don Callis family because he paid them. And you know what's really funny? There are some people in the Don Callis family that do not like him. Andrade doesn't like him. I know Kyle Fletcher had a stare down with him, even though he's playing heel. Where's the rest of the Don Callis family? No, seriously, where's the rest? Because I was like, where's the rest of the Don Callis family? Okay, there's Kevin Knight, Kyle Fletcher, Jake Doyle, Okada, and also that creep Don Callis. He's the reason you're... Hey, Jeffrey. He ain't my champion. I just want to be very clear. I could care less about MJF. He's the biggest jerk in America. Oh, you want to talk about Kevin Knight. But yeah, MJF is the biggest jerk in America. He's not my... Trust me, he is not the reason I do these watch-alongs that I'm watching, sir. All right, so we have Mark, my main squeeze, Orange Cassidy, Rowdy, and Kyle. See, people don't know. Mark knows a lot of people, and he knows a lot of people that don't like MJF. They don't underestimate the man's brain. Yeah, you took out big time. Yeah, him. Orange. I had to get you under your spin a bit. It would be nice to see Hologram come back. I'm pretty sure he can find some partners. Ooh. Takeshita, that's a really good partner. He's been wanting Kyle Fletcher. That's really awesome. That's a good pick with Takeshita. Who was the last pick? Oh, Darby! Oh, Darby! That actually makes a lot of sense because Darby has issues with MJF and Kevin. Well, obviously MJF, but Kevin Knight too. So it makes sense for Darby to be a part of it. I love Darby. He always supports the people. Now, I will say that's a pretty solid tag team. See, MJF. Oh, MJF bit more than she could chew. Why is my phone dropping? See? Takeshita. See? He got the conglomeration. See, look. Jeff Betterling, Sting is not here tonight. I know he's retired, but let the man enjoy retirement. But it's so cool. We got obviously the conglomeration, the remaining members of the conglomeration. And you have Takeshita, who has issues with Kyle Fletcher, because that's a blood feud. And then we have Darby Allin, which actually makes a lot of sense because he does have issues with not just MJF, but he has issues with Kevin Knight, but mostly Kevin Knight in a way. Woo! And look at all the fans cheering for Darby Allin. I'm very curious who's going to be involved at Forbidden Door. Who is going to choose their team? Which I would think, I would think this would be the team at Forbidden Door, which would make a lot of sense. It would make a lot of sense. Look at the typical overrun, but it's our final commercial of the night, and I'm so happy you guys are with me for Timeless Elite Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. Even though I was a little bit late, I do appreciate you guys keeping active in the chat, especially when I wasn't around. I'm very happy that I got to catch some of the action on Dynamite tonight, and I think it's definitely going to be looking up to be really good for Forbidden Door. It's got some good matches. I'm sure we'll probably have some after Collision and maybe next week, but it is shaping up. And friendly reminder, I will be doing a watch along for AEW Forbidden Door in San Jose. I think we may have some people on the ground for San Jose, but we shall see on that. But I do want to thank everybody for sticking around. I know with AEW, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I'm very happy to see it be successful. I want them to be successful. Even though I wasn't there from the very beginning, I was there in 2022, and I'm very happy to see it grow. Of course, there's some life lessons they got to learn. They still got to have some things to figure out, but I want to stick around them, and I ain't a bandwagon fan. I want to make sure I support everybody, and there's a few people I do support. I'm not going to say clients because that's Councilman and Sed's pitch, but they're kind of some of my peeps that I like to support. Obviously, of course, Tony Storm, Orange Cassidy, Jamie Hayter, Alex Windsor, Max Caster, Anthony Bowens. I support all of them. But yeah, we got a main event. So it looks like this is going to be the team for the steel cage match, which actually makes a lot of sense. It actually makes sense. Because at least they continue the feud between Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher. And I'm sorry, Okada does not need to go for the AEW International Belt. That ship has sailed. He needs to go for the AEW World title. He doesn't need to go for the international title again. That's between Kyle Fletcher and Takeshita. Give them a blood feud. And even with Kevin Knight, because I feel like him and Darby need to have a blood feud. And I think that's going to lead to Speedball Mike Bailey getting the TNT Championship instead of Darby. Just have to find a way to do that, because obviously Darby's going to put him over. And Speedball's already over, so that's going to help out too with the rub from Darby. But it's been a really good, solid Dynamite so far, leading up to the road to All In Wembley Stadium. I'm very excited on what the road is going to look like. And also, we had Will Ospreay get married. We have another man getting married at the end of the month, and that is Mr. Darby Allin, and he's getting married on my birthday next week. He's going to be married, which I'm very, very excited for him. It makes me smile. I know, Jeff Merling, I thought Speedball was going to be in it too, but hopefully we do get to see Speedball in it soon, because Speedball's also feuding. He still has some bitter feelings towards Kevin Knight and the Don Callis family, so we'll see more of Speedball in the coming weeks. But here we go. Mark Briscoe. And I guess him and MJF are going to start it off. Referee Bryce. And there's Andrade. I forgot. Andrade is another man that's not like MJF joining the Don Callis. Yeah, him and I would say Kyle Fletcher, but I don't know. But I know Andrade has had his feelings. I'm just ready for the babyface run for Andrade. I'm ready. But here we go. We have Mark Briscoe taking on Andrade. Feel free to put in the chat on who you guys got winning this main event. Do you have Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, Darby Allin, and Takeshita? Or do you have the Don Callis family and MJF winning? Okay, so Jeff really taking Mark Briscoe's team. Definitely going to be a good match. Oh, Lordy, who is the lucky lady? Who is the lucky lady with Andrade? Oh, boy. Well, he's a lucky man. I would not be shocked if Lio Rush made an appearance tonight, because last week Lio Rush made an appearance during Orange Cassidy and Andrade's match, because he's been following the conglomeration a little bit backstage. So I would not be shocked if Lio Rush made a slight appearance. And here comes Roddy. Well, as you can tell, Roddy still doesn't like MJF. So, Roddy's Roddy. And the conglomeration are the reigning trios champions, which I actually do love that they have a lot more competitors. And I think this is something they could have done with the Acclaimed when they were trios, but it didn't click. But I think with the conglomeration, this could really put a boost in. Orange Cassidy! He took out Johnny's pants. I know, right? Isn't he? Well, Jeffrey, he is hilarious, but don't let his looks fool you, because he can really kick your butt easily. This man was a 2-time AEW International Champion, and he is the best AEW International Champion. It's not me saying it. It's a lot of people are saying it. But here's Orange. Tag is made to Kyle. Oh, we're going to get Kyle versus Kyle. Which Kyle are you going for? Kyle O'Reilly or Kyle Fletcher? Because I'll never forget the first time they met, and it was like, let's go Kyle, or it was hilarious. Go Roddy. Well, at least Jeff Mendeling's rooting for Roddy. Kyle versus Kyle. Oh, I love it. I want to see another saga between Kyle versus Kyle, because I think it's like the last 2 times they met, it was pretty funny. But here we go. We got Kyle O'Reilly taking on Kyle Fletcher. The Battle of the Kyles, which I like to see. But I don't need Okada going for the AEW International title. Just realized they have the same first name. Yep, Jeffrey, they got the same first name. Kyle versus Kyle. It's just funny with fans like, which Kyle are you rooting for? Don't underestimate Kyle O'Reilly, because he can put a submission hold on you and snap you. Because he made Jon Moxley tap out. I mean, come on, you can't deny the man for that. He tapped him out. And very rarely have you ever seen Jon Moxley tap. But I'm very intrigued with not just Jon Moxley and Will Ospreay, but Bandito wants to go up against Jon Moxley for the Continental Championship. But could we get Bandito 2 belts again? Because he's still the reigning Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion. And oh boy, there's a lot of chaos and camaraderie in this tag match. A lot of chaos happening. I can imagine how it is going to be inside the steel cage. I can imagine. Referees out of control. Yep, there's a lot of chaos happening in this match. I would say the ref lost control. Is just there's a lot of inner blood with both of these teams. There's a lot of bad blood when you really think about it. And there goes Orange taking out Kevin Knight, Darby Allin, coffin drop. What's Takeshita doing? What is he doing? Going off the top rope. There's a reason why he's the international champion. Oh, I'm looking forward to it. So it's just kind of interesting, because Darby Allin's supposed to get married at the end of the month. But yeah, it's official. Forbidden Door. These same participants will be inside a steel cage match. So it's going to be very interesting how this is going to go. And also, it's official at Forbidden Door, the AEW Continental Championship. Jon Moxley taking on Bandito. And we see former rivals in the ring, Darby Allin and MJF, because these guys, yep, his leg is taped, which, you can't blame him for that. And I don't want the man to be seriously injured. I never root for anybody to be injured. I don't want the man injured. Even though I say that he's a jerk and everything else, I never want to see him injured. I want to see him 100% ready to go. Ooh, you can see a lot of friction between Kyle Fletcher and Kevin Knight. Ooh, man. I know we got to get a blood feud between Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher, but this is actually interesting to watch. And with the fact, too, Kyle Fletcher once hit the TNT title that he did not lose. So that's another storyline layer that people tend to forget about. But at least Max is playing it safe, and I don't want the man seriously injured. I really don't want him injured. But, let him go, let him run around and do whatever he wants. So, but it's kind of crazy since AEW started. MJF and Darby's rivalry just happened like almost 4 years ago. They had a very intenseful rivalry, and it still is to this day, between two AEW original guys, which has been very fun to watch and see them grow and intersect with each other. And they put the promo on Forbidden Door. Just to let you know, I will be doing a watch along for AEW Forbidden Door happening. So, Kyle Fletcher. Well, technically, to be fair, I know Andrade has his issues with MJF. Kyle, he does not like MJF, even though he plays a heel. But Kyle Fletcher does not like MJF. There are two members that do not like MJF. So, that's another thing to consider. Okay, so we see Okada and Darby in the ring. Tag is made to Jake Doyle. I'm surprised Mark Davis isn't in it, but I know Mark Davis, he is the reigning AEW national champion, and we'll see who his next contender is. We know Ricochet is also going after the AEW. Who doesn't like it? Exactly, Jeffrey. I'm not really surprised. I'm really not surprised at all. But Ricochet put a claim in on Collision over the weekend that he wants the AEW International Championship. So Takeshita has Kyle Fletcher and Ricochet on deck. And also, I did see my guy Anthony Bowens joining the Ops over the weekend. Obviously, talk about Samoa Joe, but we do see a little bit of friction between him and Hook on screen. And even though they're friends in real life, I feel like once Anthony's stock grows a little bit, you can see a lot of enviness within the Ops as well. Because for me, Hook should have been TNT champion a year or two ago, but I don't know why that didn't happen. But we shall see. But I think once Anthony's stock comes up a bit, there probably will be a little bit of friction. And also when Samoa Joe comes back, there's going to be something else. And I was thinking about this, and I think somebody mentioned this on social over the weekend. And I don't want to get anybody's hopes up, but it could be a possibility of bringing the Acclaimed back together. Because when you really think about it, even though like Anthony has supported everything, one person that he's always supportive of is Max. And people had this ridiculous rumor that, oh yeah, Max Caster hasn't been on TV for a couple weeks. And I was like, well, first off, he's wrestled in Wrestle Open for the last couple of years. Even when he was with the Acclaimed, he still wrestled there on Mondays. And I love that he's still venturing out and doing his character work and everything else, which I love. So it's a possibility we could bring the Acclaimed back together. I don't want to get my hopes up, but let that slowly possess. And then Anthony realizes the one person that backed him up the most was Max, because there's still love for them. There is still love for the both of them. I got to watch their match at WrestlePro, and you can tell there's still a lot of love between them. Love and respect. But, oh God. Sorry, we're back live with AEW Dynamite. I was laughing because Jake Doyle thought it was Orange Cassidy, but he ended up with MJF. The segment court. I know. I'm catching up to speed because I'm talking about Anthony Bowens and Max Caster, and I've been watching this. But here comes Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong doesn't even like MJF, so he'll vouch for the team. And I'm happy he's now an official member of the conglomeration. I think with the conglomeration, it gave Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong some personalities there, because we know they're good wrestlers. It's just the personality. And I think with the conglomeration, it has helped really provide them with a lot of personalities. Of course, we know who Orange is. We know who Mark is. Nice tag team by Roddy and Orange. It's kind of crazy. They both fought for each other for the AEW International Champion when the Orange was champion. Andrade was encouraging. Oh, Lordy. Nice punch by Roddy. Jake Doyle coming back from injury. I wouldn't mind seeing him and Brian Cage go for the tag team titles, because I feel like they're a tag team that I would watch. But Jake Doyle stood up. Roddy, what are you going to do? Oh, man, that was a sucker punch by Roddy. Poor Roddy. Yeah, I just saw the stick with Jeffrey. I'm like, he just... You can tell there's not that much. There's miscommunication between MJF and the Don Callis family. And how are they going to communicate at Forbidden Door? Oh, boy. Well, Darby's rooting for the sidelines. Kyle obviously is. And then we see Takeshka. Yes, I mean, look, I'm not surprised it's in an overrun. So, I'm okay. Thought was talking about your client. Orange. Oh, Lordy. I know. It doesn't shock me because Don Callis is still bitter that Orange Cassidy didn't want to join the Don Callis family. That's why he's still bitter towards Orange Cassidy. But nice move by Andrade. Darby's off in a wood fight. I'm hoping he's 100% when he walks down the aisle. That's all I care about. I hope he gets to walk down the aisle. And then we see Kevin Knight put a cheap shot in. I wouldn't be surprised if Speedball Mike Bailey came in and just attacked Kevin Knight, because there's still a lot of friction between them. Nice move by Orange Cassidy. Oh! He's about to put him in the tombstone. Ooh, not an orange. And here comes Takeshka. And they say there is a lot of bad blood between Takeshka and Okada, when you really think about it. But I want to see the blood feud between Fletcher and Takeshka. Okada doesn't need to go for the international belt. He needs to go for the AEW World Heavyweight title. See, definitely Takeshka. See, Takeshka's, and you know what's funny? When he was with the Don Callis family, he's beloved by everybody. I think everybody appreciates and respects Takeshka for what he does. Oh yes, it's official for the AEW World Titles. Edge and Christian taking on the Dogs. That's going to be a banger of a match. And plus, I love that they're taking on like other tag teams. We know the AEW Women's World Title Tekla will be taking on for the first time, making her AEW appearance, Stardom's Starlight Kid. And also we have Swerve Strickland taking on Will Ospreay. We have Kenny Omega taking on Zack Sabre Jr. I have a feeling though, and also the 12-man cage match. But I have a feeling they'll probably have one more match. And we're going to see Zack Sabre Jr. in action this Saturday, taking on Adam Priest, leading up to his match against Kenny. We're going to have Survival of the Fittest qualifying match. We're going to have Mina Shirokana taking on Chris Statlander. And we're going to have the Elite, the Young Bucks, and Jack Perry taking on the Lethal Swirl. And of course, for the Owen Hart Cup Women's Semifinal, we're going to have Athena taking on Maya World, and the winner of that match will face off against Mercedes Moné at Forbidden Door. Oh my God. Yeah, MJF has interesting things with name calling on promos. Kevin Knight, he's running. But I would be shocked if Speedball was back there. I would not be shocked if Speedball. Get him up. Darby's running. He's chasing Kevin Knight. You can run, Kevin Knight, but you can't hide. Like I said, I wouldn't be shocked if Speedball came in out of the blue. Kevin, you can run, but you can't hide. And there's Jake Doyle. Man, he really... It's all about destroying Darby Allin. Oh, Darby. Oh, man, they really want to take out... What are they doing with Darby? What are they doing? Ooh, they hit him on the ring post. Woo! They hit him on the ring post. That has to hurt. You really don't want that man walking down the aisle on his big day. Whew. We want this man's love. I know. Darby loves taking bumps, but I just want to make sure he's healthy on his wedding. Oh, and look at that creep, Don Callis, coming in. See, this would be a perfect opportunity for Speedball to come in. It would be such a big opportunity because I'm getting sick of Don Callis. Because sooner or later, somebody's going to beat the crap out of him and punch him in the face. It wouldn't, like I said, it would have been a good opportunity for Speedball to come in and just kick Don Callis in the face. Because I think that's something everybody wants to see. They want that moment to happen. Because I'm getting sick of that creep interfering in matches. You interfered in my guy Orange Cassidy's match. You beat up on Will Ospreay. He beat up on many people in their matches. Oh, well, that's really weak. MJF putting Roddy in submission hold. That's really weak. That is so weak. And he really took out Roddy. That was really weak. But your winners are the Don Callis family, MJF. That was just a weak finish in a way. And oh boy, they're really taking out. And it's not even done. They're taking out Roddy. They're trying to take out everybody from the team. The finish was garbage. Well, I'm not going to say garbage, but it was a little bit interesting. I think they made it way too quick. But like I said, it could have been a perfect opportunity for Speedball to come in. Because Speedball has some beef with the Don Callis family and Kevin Knight. But yeah, I think because they want to make the heel stronger, because MJF and the Don Callis family, I think that's why you want to make sure it's a little bit stronger. It was a week. It was a week. It just went by so quick because I'm like, wait a minute. He made Roger Strong tap out. You could have had him pinfalled. But it looks like MJF wants other things to deal with. Yeah, he has the diamond ring. He's trying to get up Mark. But it looks like there's friction between Andrade and MJF. Woo! I kind of like this. I want Andrade to punch Don Callis in the face. Oh, he wants to take out Mark Briscoe. Ooh, and of course MJF took out Mark Briscoe. It was kind of a weak ending when you really think about it, but yeah, I mean, the steel cage match is going to be very interesting. We know who's participating in it, but has anyone else? Jeffrey? I don't think so. As far as I know, I don't know who won his ring, but oh yay, we get to end it off with that creeped out Callis and MJF. So yay. I would say there were some good hits. There were some good hits on this episode. Not the strongest episode, but there were some good hits. Kevin, well, I mean, hey, he's not the only he's not the only person that doesn't like Kevin Knight. Andrade has some issues with Kevin Knight as well. Like I said, it would have been nice to see Speedball come in and just wreak some havoc. But that wraps up Timeless Elite Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. It's an interesting episode. I mean, had some hits, had some misses, and head scratchers. But we kind of had to figure out who's on the road for Forbidden Door. Obviously, Kenny Omega was in action. We also had Bro Dino picking up a victory. We had Bro Dino picking up a victory over the Death Riders, which is huge because now we know for the AEW Continental Championship, it will be Jon Moxley taking on Bandito. And could we get Bandito 2 belts? Because Bandito is still the reigning AEW. He's still the reigning Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion, and Jeff Manning is CEO. Well, I can't win at this point. I mean, everybody wants to take over, but I can't win. But I'm still in my own little Timeless Elite Wednesday island because, well, that's just how it is. But obviously, the best match of the night has to go to Mercedes Moné and Hazuki. They definitely put on a clinic. This is the second time. This was a second time that they met. The first time they met, it was definitely one of the best women's matches, and they both delivered. I thought at least Hazuki would pick up the win, but Mercedes picked up the win. And it's going to be very interesting because is she going to face off against Athena, or is she going to face off against Maya World? And I know Mercedes did underestimate Hazuki a bit, but I would not underestimate either one of these shows. If I were Mercedes, I would not underestimate one of those ladies, Athena or Maya World. But I know Athena wants her lick back from Mercedes after what happened at World's End last year for the AEW Women's Tag Team title. So Athena wants some lick back in a way. But it was definitely the best match of the night tonight. Obviously, the promo, Will Ospreay as Swerve Strickland face to face. Oh my God. Woo, there was a lot of fireworks, a lot happening. Obviously, we did see an appearance from the Death Riders. And there's a lot of layers to this. It's going to be very interesting, especially if Hangman comes back. It's going to be very interesting because sooner or later, the Death Riders may turn their back on Will Ospreay, especially when he's champion. So if I were Ospreay, I would be very, very careful because I would not be shocked if the Death Riders went after United Empire, even though there's friction. I don't want to say friction, but a little bit of conflict between him and United Empire. I would not be shocked if Marina Shafir went after Alex Windsor because she is the reigning New Japan Strong Women's Champion. So those are things that you really have to think about. And then, of course, we find out who is going to participate, who's going to be on MJF and Mark Briscoe's team, and especially the ones inside a 12-man steel cage. We saw the Don Callis family take out Tomohiro Ishii because they really want to make sure that nobody joins Mark Briscoe. But people tend to forget Mark Briscoe knows a lot of people, and a lot of people in the back do not like MJF or the Don Callis family. So it's really nice to see. We now know it's going to be MJF and the Don Callis family. Also, with the fact, too, for Mark Briscoe, we obviously, of course, have my main squeeze, Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly joining the team. But we also have Konosuke Takeshita and Darby Allin joining the fray as well, which actually makes a lot more sense because they both have issues. Takeshita has issues with Kyle Fletcher and Okada. Darby Allin has issues with Kevin Knight and also MJF, too. So it makes a lot of sense. But the winners was MJF and Don Callis family. So it was an interesting weekending to Dynamite. It was very interesting and a head scratcher. And also we got to see an appearance from Edge and Christian and the Dogs. They will be facing off for the AEW World Tag Team titles. And we also got to see Tekla make an appearance on Dynamite we did see her 2 weeks ago, but I'm happy she is. I just wanted her to appear more in Dynamite than I would on Collision. But she will be facing off for the first time, making an appearance on AEW soil. Starlight Kid from Stardom. I just hope they continue this whole thing with Stardom leading up to Wembley Stadium because that would be fun to watch. But, you know, it was a solid episode. It hit some of the notes that it did. Obviously, best match of the night was Hazuki versus Mercedes. Those ladies did put on a clinic. They know each other very well. Chemistry. And make sure, go back to watch the first time they met. Banger of a match that they had. But that wraps up AEW Dynamite. You guys know where to find me. I be chirping on WWT Live as much as I can. It's just been a little bit crazy, but I always come on as much as I can. I'm not sure if we're 50-50 on Friday because Friday is Juneteenth. So it's a possibility we may not have a show on Friday. I just have to get with Boss Lady, but it's a possibility we may not have a show this Friday for Juneteenth. So we'll keep you updated on that. You can follow me on my socials at Courtney NJ11 because I do have content being put up in the coming weeks. I have content put up from MLW, my interview with Shotzi. I also have content from 80s WrestleCon I have to put up. Make sure to check out my interview with Bronwyn Billington, the daughter of the Dynamite Kid. And I'll be also posting up my video with Dave LaGreca because it was a really fun interview that I got to do with Dave. So more content is happening, and also lots is happening because there's a lot of wrestling in the East Coast this summer, which I'm not going to lie. Next month, NWA TNA is coming to town, to Philadelphia, and I'm very excited. And yeah, we have a lot of action. Also, make sure to check out my recap of Battle for the Brave with Deonna Purrazzo and Steve Macklin. It was a really good event. I'm so happy for them. Shout outs to Steve, Deonna, their publicist Joanne for putting on an amazing event. And the whole stream is up on their podcast YouTube channel. So make sure to check it out. It's all going to a good cause. Shout out to the rest of the WWT team. I know all of us have been on the ground lately for the last couple of weeks, but shout out to everybody else. We are putting the work in, making sure that we are putting out, and we are the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet. Make sure to check out ISPW Wrestling because there's a lot of events happening, especially the big event in July in Wildwood, New Jersey. Lots of stuff happening. But thank you again. Shout out to Jeffrey, Boza, Jeff Metterling, Eddie Foster, all of you guys in the chat, especially when I was on here, for keeping the chat active. I do appreciate that. So thank you again. And for supporting Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.